Ricochet ripped Eric Bischoff. Just like Ricochet's booty hole, Bischoff got ripped up for claiming Dixie Carter is a better booker than Tony Khan. And this is according to Ringside News, okay? We all know here at PWT that Tony Khan is the best guy. Ricochet was like, yeah, Bischoff really is an idiot. Damn. And then he says, Bischoff had to say, that's why I think she's a better booker than Tony Khan, because she recognized what her weaknesses were. Whereas Tony thinks he's a good booker and clearly is not. Tony Khan doesn't know what he doesn't know. And like, dude, I don't think that makes him it makes him more, okay, maybe Dixie Carter was more self-aware or something, but that doesn't mean good booker though, just because your weakness is booking, but then you hire idiots to do the booking and they do a bunch of dumb, that would still mean they're bad at booking. Right. And so, yeah, Bischoff just said AEW's issue is not a talent issue. It's a Tony Khan issue. And then Ricochet was like, so Bischoff really is an idiot. Damn. Who do you think was a better booker, JJ Dixie or Bischoff?
I mean, they're both
or Tony Khan.
No, I was going to say Bischoff above Dixie and Tony Khan.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I see the point Eric was trying to make, and I'm not a fan of either person booking, but at least Dixie had a creative team there who would steer her in whatever direction, who she would listen to. That was a good thing and a bad thing, because while she would be able to listen to Cornette and listen to Dutch, she also listened to Russo and Jarrett, but still, at least she listened to the people there in creative. Tony just thinks he is the end all be all and knows everything. And that is why, I got to agree with Bischoff that Dixie was the better booker, because Dixie at least listened to other people.
All I know is they're the bottom 1 and 2. So who cares? Who gives a what you
right? It's what do you call it? Giant douche and a turd sandwich.
Exactly. Like, who really cares which one is the one? That being said, though, a lot of people bring up Herb Abrams, and I think if he had infinite money like Tone, I think he would still no longer be with us, but I think he would have been able to book better. He would definitely still not be with us, RIP, but he would at least Herb Abrams brought in
territory guys who were over during a time where they were still relatively over.
Yeah. So we move along, and in other roster news, and not even roster news, but just Tone being a goof and people who are no longer with us. Tony Khan says he'd gladly trade all the things he's learned in AEW to still have Jay Briscoe here with us. Let's take a listen.
I think AEW's grown a lot. It's changed a lot, and I have changed a lot. And those experiences have been formative.
It's so funny how we're all right. Like, Tone realized he shouldn't have taken shots at WWE and all that shit. It just curried so much bad favor.
Even
with the fans.
Losing Jay, and I would gladly trade all the things I've learned to have Jay here, but I learned a lot after that.
Okay, but you wouldn't trade like your ass going to bat for him on TNT or TBS, dude?
That was all bullshit.
I know it is, but that's just it's how he treats the people like idiots. It's like, bro, you're so valuable to WBD and all this shit. That they told you, no, you can't put this guy in your show, and you didn't go, you know what, it's live TV. He's just going out there and he's going to cut a promo, and he's going to get such a fan reception that it's going to look so well. And then I'm going to go to the executives and go, look, you want to pull the plug then, bud. But look at that reception online, and look at how look at the live audience and all of that. Tone could do that if he wants to. But he ain't about it, man. He don't give a fuck about none of it. He never gave a fuck about any of that. So
he hid behind that story.
He did. He lied about all
there
that.
There was never this mythical Warner Brothers executive that said we don't want the Briscoes on TV.
No, he cowered out because he calls the shots. Like, and that's the thing with Tone. He answers to nobody. He only answers to himself. Blah blah blah. Exactly. He cowered it out, and he could have if he wanted to, and he just blames it on executives. He blamed the Trey Miguel thing on executives. Really, it's his call. And he's like, oh, I'd do anything to have Jay Briscoe back. No, you wouldn't, bro. You didn't even go to bat for him then. And after he passed, you see the outpour of support. And it would have been that way had you put him on TV. Back then, people would have
gone,
dude, Jay fucked rules.
And then you took a guy like Mark Briscoe And you could have given him this giant fucking redemption arc, and you could have made him your world champion within inside of 2 months. And you fucking didn't. You kept him as a joke and had him doing fucking garbage matches.
And he only did it for the reason we know why, and good on it. I'm glad he did it for Briscoe. I'm glad he pushed him and everything, but he only did that for Mark because Jay passed. Otherwise he would have never. And meanwhile, there's a
Jay
bunch
and Mark
of people,
would still be in fucking Ring of Honor if Jay was still alive.
Exactly. And meanwhile, there's a bunch of wrestling fans who go, either of those guys you could push as singles too. So it's not like he couldn't have pushed Mark Briscoe regardless. So he's just full of shit tone, and it is what it is, man.
And I probably changed.
Carney's gonna fucking Carney.
That experience of losing a friend.
And he's not even a real Carney. He's like a fucking internet wrestling fan Carney.
And somebody that I wish I could have gotten to know even better, that I was really bonding with and really clicking with, and I think was one of the best wrestlers I ever worked with, and I only got
he is flying through his fucking teeth.
Last time I saw him, and then I never saw him again. And I think
the fact that he had to close his eyes, look down, and then his eyes were bugging back and forth, that was lies.
It stresses me out, man. In other, this is sort of this is a happy thing that AEW is doing, but it's unfortunate what's going on with Rebel. And I always fucking have loved Rebel. I thought her and Britt Baker were always good together. I always had such a big crush on Rebel as well. Just throwing it out there for many years,
Yeah.
But ALS, she came down with it, and it is serious. And the Ice Bucket Challenge has been brought back, which is kind of cool. And it's good AEW's doing this. AEW's doing a show called Rebel Heart, just announced, in Athens, Georgia, and the special Dynamite TV special will be dedicated to Rebel and honoring her, who was diagnosed with ALS. And hopefully Tone makes a hefty contribution and donates all the proceeds towards ALS research and all of that. No?
Here's hoping, and this is nothing against Rebel or anything of that nature.
Yeah.
But I would just like to point out that there is another semi-well-known indie talent who is suffering from ALS, who had a benefit show there was a benefit show for him some months back, and there were some AEW talents who were brought in on loan for the show because they supported him, and nothing was mentioned nor donated by Tony Khan on that front, and that family is still struggling right now.
What do you think of the name? This Rebel Heart, this Rebel Heart.
Oh, that was literally this is the problem is Tony could just be doing something nice, but he has to take a jab. That's childish.
You think it has something to do with Gargano, or?
Yeah, absolutely. The fact is, see, I've got Ciampa and look what I've done with them, and you're planking on TV, and John's like, yeah, I'm making money to not bump. Fuck you.
I hope it does. I hope it has nothing to do with that, and it's truly it's truly just something good in Tone's heart, But it's hard when he says shit like that about Jay Briscoe, and it's like, but you're lying, bro. Like, anyway. So speaking of Tone and Tone being put over by people, Rhino will be appearing at the taping here. I think tonight he was there, and ICP were there as well. Some Detroit natives.
Yeah, ICP were sitting in the crowd.
So Rhino was at the taping. So are they taping Collision, and then they're
taping's airing tomorrow? What do you call it? Collision's airing tomorrow night.
Right. So they're taping it tonight and then airing it tomorrow. They're not like going live tomorrow. Okay. So Rhino, I assume, will have a match or a run out and gore somebody, and I'm sure ICP will be on Collision or something as well, in some capacity. Then if they're just there chilling, and then
they were just in the crowd.
Rhino was like putting over Tony Khan and shit. And it's so funny because the Observer had like this lengthy write-up, and here's a graphic with an article. Rhino praises Tony Khan because he's such a good guy and blah, 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 blah. So just out of curiosity, and I don't do this often, I looked at Observer's, I just typed in the word praises, right? And then I looked at their latest tweets. And then one of their recent ones, I just wanted to compare it in general to WWE, like, has Triple H been praised and shit? Literally, their latest headline was Roderick Strong praises Triple H and Shawn Michaels, period. That was it, dude. It's just like a shitty link to the article. when Rhino's glazing Tone, which is fine. He's just putting him over because he gives him money, and Rhino's a politician in Michigan and whatnot. So he's just whatever. I get he's doing his thing. Shout out fucking Rhino, dude. He fucking rules. But you know, you just see how the dirt sheets react to these things, and it's super funny, man. It's like, come on, dude, you couldn't be more like, if you're not in Tone's pocket, it's fucking humiliating the way that you shill. And so Tony Khan invited ICP to Dynamite in Detroit, and the ICP pulled up, and they were there, Shaggy, Too Dope, and Violent J. And they were there, dude. What do you think? Like JCW and AEW going to work together a little bit? Or do you think this is just Tone going, come on my show?
This is Tone trying to get some good fucking will. That's all it is. It's because I guarantee this was probably set in motion when he was talking to fucking Russo. And this was Russo. What do you call it?
I invented the insane clown Posse. Dude, these marks should not be anywhere near the pro. Violent J, or which one is it? Shaggy, Too Dope, you have not even appeared on my show, bro. I invented Juggalo Championship Wrestling, bro. So, yeah, dude, I don't know, man. We will see if ICP have a match or something. I doubt Tone would even do that. I can't wait.
Jay can't work matches anymore.
Okay, that makes sense. And I love what Violent J's doing, by the way. I just really want to shout him out because he does love wrestling, and he is putting his effort and money, and he does things, man, that people don't talk about. Like, he gives money to one of my favorite channels on YouTube. Is called Napoleon Blown Apart, who just makes phenomenal mixed martial arts documentaries and talks about pro wrestling here and there. And Violent J, I believe it's Napoleon Blown Apart, has given him money to fucking to just support him without even asking for anything. Like, he's like, dude, I love your work. Here's fucking $200 or what. I don't know how much he's throwing, but he finds like content creators and shit that he likes, and he throws them a bone, and he supports people on like Patreons and shit.
Yeah, he does.
You know what I mean, dude? He'll like support people's Patreons and shit. Like, and especially when they promote like combat sports and just shit. He likes wrestling and like wrestling YouTubers and shit. So shout him out and like what he's done with JCW, and I ain't mad at him. They've been in every Fed. People talk about, this guy wrestled for every Fed. Dude, ICP's been in every Fed there fucking is, from the bottom to the top, dude. They've appeared. So this is just par for the course, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm glad they got a little bit of exposure here, but I doubt, like Tony who said something like, make sure you tune into JCW Lunacy. I guarantee he doesn't say that. Like,
I would love to find, can we just look up like Tony Khan AEW Dynamite? Like, do you think there's a promo? Like, do you think fans caught them on camera? Yes. So here, let's take a look. Again, one of the most disgusting promotional tactics in the history of pro wrestling is Tony Khan telling the Detroit crowd he wants a pay-per-view at Little Caesars Arena.
Oh my God.
In case you're not here tomorrow, yes, I want to bring a pay-per-view to Detroit.
He does this every fucking town.
I know, dude. And it's just like, okay, so
I'm like, dude, you're in a Mason's lodge and you couldn't sell it out, but you want to bring a pay-per-view here.
My dad knows the Rothschilds. The Freemasons, they go to secret meetings in Bohemian Grove.
Bro, I have sold out Mason's lodges, so I am a better promoter than Tony Khan officially.
Little Caesars on a Wednesday. It's pretty tough to get it on a weekend. I've been trying for a few years. I think if we all chase him down together, what do you think? Would you like to see an AEW pay-per-view?
Someone in chat saying that Collision is live tomorrow. So did they not tape? I wonder what they taped, man. It has to be Collision. I doubt. Double check if that shit's live, chat. I don't think it is.
I would love to do it, and I want to make it happen. It's one of my top cities. Detroit, you're some of the greatest fans in the world. And
one of my favorite songs, Detroit, Rock City. Well, I guess when it comes to Kiss, right? We were talking about Gene Simmons earlier.
I'm very grateful to all of you. You've been so great. Is there anybody who was at the first Blood and Guts? Yeah!
When he goes, first I drink and then I smoke. That's my favorite show. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, he's like, do you guys want a pay-per-view? And they're like, yeah. So I don't know. Yeah.
I'm looking at WrestleTix's fucking feed right now. There is no fucking listing for tickets being sold for Collision at that venue or anywhere in Detroit tomorrow. It was literally for just tonight. So they're saying it's live. It's pre-taped.
Remember when Eminem said to ICP, claim in Detroit and y'all live 20 miles away or whatever the fuck he said? Remember when they had beef?
Oh,
100 years ago?
I was in the thick of that shit back in the day, bro. And he got pissed because ICP were calling him out on real shit.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny, man. It was funny how they were just.
That's why
with
fucking
each
what
other
was
and
it? The second diss track they did on him.
Slim
Fucking-
Anus?
No, Slim Anus was the first diss track. The second diss track, which I think was called Eminem What a Bitch. Like they literally did it where because they fucking talked about how like fucking he used to go around passing out flyers to his shows, and on the bottom of the flyer he would put Insane Clown Posse might show up because he couldn't sell on his own. So he would put that ICP and Twisted might show up on the show.
Yeah. Fucking Twisted, and now ICP and Twisted just fucking hate each other. Dude.
So there's a long thing with that.
I know. I've watched videos on it, bro. I love.
They're at professional odds, but it's not as serious as people say. I just saw Twisted in concert a couple months ago, and they did tracks where it was collaboration tracks like Dark Lotus tracks and shit like that. And what would happen was when they would come time for the ICP part on the track, the lights would just go off on the stage, and like the ICP logo would flash on the LED, and their part would play. So it's not like they're, it's not as bad as people try to put it. Just like people are like, oh, they hate each other, and if you wear an ICP shirt at a Twisted show, you're gonna get fucked up. No, none of that's true. None of it.
Yeah, I was watching a video though where Violent J was like, he's like, yeah, we'll never fucking hate. Like if we see someone with a Twisted shirt, we're like, dude, it's all love. Like we whatever. But I seen him flat out be like, fuck those guys though, and it's like, oh,
it's a big money issue, but eventually everything they're eventually, I guarantee you within the next 5 years they're going to be like, we're all getting too old for this shit.
Yeah.
We all fucking
they're already too old for that shit, dude.
Right? Exactly. They're like, let's just fucking it's like both of us, we ain't got a lot of touring time left in us. Let's just fucking be friends again. Like I don't see, it's not that serious.
So speaking of like not a lot of time left, Tone likes to push it to the limit, a half-hour overrun, and then he ended up doing an overrun on the pay-per-view to where he's like, I'm going to start it an hour early, but then he just let it go an hour longer. And this was him at the press conference, and Meltzer said, post PSA, you don't have to do the clapping, you're working media. And then the clapping intensifies. So let's take a listen to these Mark-ass J-Brone fucking media members.
And I was talking to Ray after the show. He said he hadn't thrown that kick in almost 40 years, and he had such a great time. And
still got it.
Yeah, he did. It was great. So thank you for asking. And I love being able to honor the history of professional wrestling here in AEW anytime we can do that. Thank you. Oh, you don't have to do that. You never have to clap. You guys don't have to do the clap. You guys are the working media. You don't have to do that. No.
Oh my God, bro, it's worse than I imagined it would be.
The best guy is Tony Khan.
He goes, no, you don't have to do that. But he really wants them to keep clapping. And then some fucking person in the back, keep clapping, clap even harder. Brava, brava. He told us don't clap. We shall clap harder. That's the Marcus shit ever. Okay. And yes, in UFC, let's say they do a post press conference. The media, sometimes you clap for he won the world title. Let's give him a round of applause after he answers our questions, whatever. They'll do that for a sports team or like LeBron or something. That's okay. But it's the fact that he's like, stop doing that. Don't clap, like he achieved some great magical thing, the worst pay-per-view in AEW's history.
Right.
It's not like he's going out there like, yeah, and we broke a world record. They're just clapping so hard.
Being able to honor the history of professional wrestling here in AEW anytime we can do that. Thank you. Oh, you don't have to do that. You never have to clap. You
like he was literally waiting for them. He was looking at them like, please clap.
No. It's like you're working media. You're doing a great job. Thank you. I respect what you do. Thank you. And please,
they're clapping for him. They're clapping because Ray Rougeau threw a fucking kick in the ring and had a cool segment, the best segment of the show. Fuck you.
I'll keep answering your questions. God bless you.
The media stinks, dude. They are just such crackheads. And Renee Paquette, like, what are you doing?
Right.
So speaking of the media, dude, and having a stranglehold, everybody was melting down about WWE radio. And this is a different form of that, but it's like, dude, they're starting my AEW. Like, you guys all want the network back, but you're mad that they have a radio network. Like, how does this make any sense? Like, nobody can keep the same energy on anything. And Tony Khan gave an update at this media scrum for Redemption on the AEW podcast network, which they announced. There's a logo and a graphic and everything. They didn't like announce it, but it's just something that people are anticipating will happen. And I think they've been teasing for a minute, but there's no work done on it. And Tone's abandoning this. All the pods will just go on fucking my AEW now. Guys, if there's any pods, there's going on my
That
AEW.
is such a fucking clip art fucking logo.
I mean, hopefully the AEW didn't make this, but if they did, I mean, yeah.
They got someone on Fiverr to do that shit.
But he gives an update, and JD from NY is like, oh, I don't understand why everyone's doing this and shit. It's like, because they just want, AEW doesn't talk about WWE either anymore. They want to talk about their own shit, and good. There should be a WWE podcast network and an AEW podcast network, or good. Like, all the sports do it. Each team could have their own fucking network, for Christ's sakes.
Right.
Like, who cares? But Tone goes, we've been working on it. We're still planning the AEW podcast network with our friends. And this was trending harder than anything at Redemption. The next day, I wake up and there's more headlines about the AEW podcast network, and the trends are trending AEW podcast network more than anything that happened on the show. That's how you know it was a bad show. And he goes, and it's because it's non-existent. And Tone goes, so that's been in the works for quite a while and still in the works. It's going to be a very good. I'm looking forward to the AEW podcast network, because we've been planning it for a while. That's going to be excellent. And it's like, all right, bro. So this is going to be a thing, and I expect people to melt down, and JD to melt down the way he did over WWE radio, right? Even though this is more of a who gives a fuck with a podcast network, because everybody can have their own YouTube channel and podcast network.
Right. Podcasting is free. Like,
yeah, fucking
it's having like, if you were announcing a podcast network in 2009, maybe, like, but nobody cares. Like, we live in a day and age, like, how, like, there's thousands upon thousands of wrestling podcasts. Like, it doesn't matter if you have your own network or not.
I know, it's so nutty.
Because what was that channel that Conrad had a few years ago, where you literally had to pay to fucking listen to the podcasts on it? And it was the one that, like, it was where, like,
adfreeshows.com.
Adfreeshows.com, right? Exactly. Like, that was a fucking work and a half.
Well, the thing is too, is that all of these podcast, quote unquote, networks, like, everybody tried to start networks and it just fails. Like, you have to just do your thing and then collab with people and stuff. Like, all of these networks don't really work. And especially not in wrestling, it just hasn't worked out for people. So there's no point in doing that. It's like an old passe thing. And so that's why you just get a radio channel or whatever. So that's why Tone isn't ever going to do this. And also WWE's radio channel is different, by the way. It's like a radio channel on Sirius, but everything's just podcasting and streaming now. Everything's about fucking owning IP and then owning all of your own content for trickle down that you can repackage and repurpose, and fucking and streaming. We have 100 hours of this, so you can do a 24-hour stream on your channel and blah blah blah. That's all it fucking is, man. Even bands are starting to do it now. Right. They have their own YouTube channel where it just plays 24/7 Michael Jackson. Like, you see, like, Metallica has their own now. Like, they're all on board with this, and I've been talking about this shit forever, and this is what I'm talking about. And there's a reason why even JD, he's the biggest guy in this space, one of them, he always is talking about, like, retention rate and stuff. That's just the way of the future for fucking everything. It's about what you own and what you create that's original. People want more original shit now. For a while it was all member berries, but speaking of being an unoriginal fucking hack douchebag, I don't know why that's the transition. Daniel Garcia, he got fined by AEW. So AEW allegedly fined Garcia after a phone smacking incident, and Garcia also got popped in the mouth, and he has a match they announced, I guess, against Ospreay on Collision. Yeah, is what they're taping tonight or whatever the fuck. So this person said, "Hi, I am the individual who yelled at Daniel Garcia for hitting my phone. The first guy. I got a DM followed by a phone call from AEW today, and they have fined him 10 grand as well as offered me tickets to the next show in my area." Oh my God, dude.
So
what are your thoughts?
I'm pretty sure they just told him he got fined.
They worked them.
They worked him. Yeah, like here's free tickets to. So okay,
Wrestling's not fake!
you get a pair of free tickets the next time they're in Montreal. So have fun at that Collision taping. Like,
oh man, it's just so shitty to slap someone's phone out of their hands, and Tone didn't enforce the fucking fine.
Right.
And then he tried to babyface everyone by having, and then he tried to babyface everyone by having Ospreay smack Garcia in the fucking mouth on Dynamite or whatever.
Right.
Oh my God, dude. So here's the footage of it. And I went off on Memba Monday.
Yep.
Because Garcia's just a little bitch, dude. And there's a lot of people who are like, man, Punk was being a bitch for what he did. Now, here's the thing. I agree. The people Punk, and I said this, the people Punk was bowing up to, it's like, bro, you don't need to. These are like, I don't know, man. Because Punk also, like, at the airport, that is true. He like slapped some dude who, like, I don't think English was his first language, and the phone call was released. He's been slapping phones out of hands, and he shouldn't do that. Right. That's like, especially the guy in the fucking airport who seemingly couldn't even speak English. Like, Punk, dude, what are you doing? The guy in front of the hotel. Now, here's where I go. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him for doing this to this guy, but it's like middle-aged guys. He's just trying to fucking bow up on people he could beat the shit out of or whatever. Whereas Garcia's slapping, like, these are fans at an event who are not like invading your personal space. So let's say at the hotel, the guy who was filming Bailey and AJ Lee, I think, were hugging, and they were like, "Can you please like give us space?" Like the girls said that to him, and then he walks up to them. I don't care if you're at a public pool or a beach or a park. If you're filming two ladies, and I don't care if they're celebrities, I don't care if you know them, I don't care what it is, and they go, "Hey, can you please like back up? We're fucking." And then he like purposefully walks up and gets further in there fucking like filming them. Yeah. Like if someone slaps your phone out of your fucking hand, you have that coming. And Bailey swatted at the guy first. So who knows what Punk saw, but he ran up and is like, yeah, get out of here, asshole, or whatever. But yeah, he shouldn't have slapped the guy's phone at the fucking airport. Like I keep the same energy. This is 10 times worse though, in my opinion, because these are just people at a fucking show. Like whether they're booing you or not, if you rip someone's sign, okay, it costs you $5 to $10 to make a fucking sign. Someone's phone, dude, like, you don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, that's just fucking douchebag shit. Flat out, it's not good healing. Garcia's a little bitch. He does a dick wiggle gimmick, and then he runs and hides behind security. At least when Punk was doing it, he's like, what? Like, what are you going to do? Garcia runs and hides behind people, and then he slaps a second guy's phone. It's not as though Punk slapped a dude's phone out of his hand and then walked up to the other people who actually were giving them their space and then slapped their hands or phone out of their hands too. Garcia slaps a dude's phone. The security crowds him. He just turns around and another guy's just standing there and Garcia slaps his fucking. Did they find him another 10 grand? Did that guy get a DM too? I'd love to fucking know. Let's take a look at the video. And the second guy's like, what are you doing, bro? And this guy's like trying to get at Garcia. He wants to fight him. And people are like, heel heat. No, bro. No, because if fucking, if Brock walked up and slapped your phone out of your hand, you'd fucking sue him, dude. Someone would sue him. So you cannot do this. This is so stupid. And I'd be that guy. Like the fact this guy in the crowd is not afraid of this little bitch right here, like that, it's like bully tactic. And then I hide behind 10 people shit. It's just pussy shit, in my opinion. It just irks me the wrong way when people do stuff like this. The same way, by the way, it does when Punk slaps foreigners who see him at a fucking airport, especially. Imagine you fly in from fucking wherever you're from, Taiwan or some shit. You're like, oh my God, CM Punk, he slaps your fucking phone out of your hand. Like, That is crazy. And then what's Garcia doing? Like chirping at the second guy whose phone he slapped, chirping at him? Like, what a douchebag. He was the guy who's not even trying shit. Who do you think wins in a fight, this angry fan or Garcia?
The angry fan.
I think Garcia knows the answer to that, and that's why he's behind 10 security talking shit behind a barricade. Okay, so look. So hold on a second. Did he slap 3 phones?
Yeah.
This guy's trying to kill him. He slapped the blue phone. I think people don't
And
realize.
then he slaps the dude that's fucking leaning over the fucking barricade just trying to get video.
Dude, he slapped 3 phones too. What a puss, man. Yep. And that's like an old man too.
Right. And this goes back to, I want to bring up something that a lot of people may have not been aware of or like just decided to forget about. But what was it? Maybe 3 years ago, when PWG was still running, when they would only do like the big show, like around Mania weekend or whatever, they ran, they were PWG. Garcia was the PWG champion at the time. And they were at that big ass fucking theater in LA. So tickets were insanely fucking expensive. It was like not like an arena like this. It was like not an amphitheater, but like an indoor, like artsy theater. But Garcia comes to the ring and there was no seats. It's all standing room on the floor. So fans can go wherever. And there was one fan who was standing near the barricade, near the ring, because there were no barricades. And he put his hand up, like just waving his hand. And Garcia's on the apron and he kicked the fucking dude's hand away. He has a fucking habit of doing this shit. And when he did it, people were like, oh, that was just him being a heel. Oh, that fan's a fucking asshole. He's always talking shit to the wrestlers. Oh, fans are allowed to talk shit to the wrestlers.
That's the whole point.
To do it. And I was like, and I said, this kid's a piece of shit and he needs to be fucking reprimanded. And here it is 3 fucking years later, and he's still doing the same goddamn shit.
Fuck beings, man. Well, I'm glad he got fined. And then to put the cap on everything here for Redemption and AEW news, Lance Storm and Brian Alvarez, they had this to say about Redemption and match length and all of this. And Brian, we're actually going to talk about it tomorrow. He requested that some shit get edited out of the live broadcast of him shitting all over AEW lately, because he's like, I don't want people to think that all I do is shit all over AEW. Because even he's figuring it out, man. Like the sickos, they're fucking just sickos, and it is what it is. But here's Lance Storm saying something very sensible, very fucking based about AEW. And so let's get it.
You have a point here about match lengths.
You have a point here, Brian. It's everybody's point. Everybody's had this point, and now you're using Lance Storm because he's a legitimate pro wrestler that everybody respects to get this point across for you. And hopes this is why it's cuck shit though, because Brian hopes that Dave hears this. He's doing this in hopes. I hope Dave is listening. I know he is, because this needs to be explained to him, and I can't keep trying to argue with this guy. It's
a good point.
Yeah, I just always find it funny when I hear the constant, you need time, you need 30, you need 20. ECW One Night Stand, Chris Jericho and I opened that show. And I still, to this day, 21 years later, get praise for how awesome they thought it was. And they thought it was one of the best pay-per-view openers they've seen. And it's like, oh, that match was so great. I think we were a smidgen over 7 minutes.
Yep.
And yeah, me personally and Chris personally would have liked to have another 10, but it was a show. We were the opener and we went fast. We were exciting. And we got it out in between 7 and 8. I don't know the exact.
Yeah, they even had a schmoz too. I'm pretty sure Incredible ran in and hit.
Yeah, because I told you what the match was supposed to be originally, and they had to book that match on the fly.
It was Patreon. JJ tells stories like this a bunch. So patreon.com/pro-wrestle-times.
The match was supposed to be Jericho and Lance as the what do you call it? It was supposed to be fucking the Impact players against Doring and Roadkill. But what happened was Jason Knight was fucking drunk off his ass and making an ass out of himself in the back, and they couldn't go over things, so they 86'd the match, and they just turned it into Lance versus Jericho on the fly, and they just did the schmaz finish with Credible and fucking Franny and fucking Jason coming out at the end.
So yeah, Lance Storm making a good point
time,
here,
but 7 minutes ish, and people liked it. It's like we got the crowd excited and left them wanting more because there was more. And I think there's something to be said for that. That if your opener is too long, it's like, again, if you want everyone to be your top guy, you don't have any top guys. If you want every match to...
So I've said this exact same thing, and people who sweep for the Observer have come into my fucking comments and gone, this guy's, you're not serious. Because I said once, if every match is 4 or 5 stars, then no match is 4 or 5 stars.
And if you can't get over in 5 minutes, you're not going to get over in 50.
Yeah, so here's Lance Storm saying exactly what the fuck I say on Observer Radio, F4W, whatever the fuck, same shit.
Yep.
It's like, again, if you want everyone to be your top guy, you don't have any top guys. If you want every match to be epic, nothing stands out as epic.
Nothing's epic.
Right.
And the opener can just be wake them up, make them happy, and move on. And yeah, everybody wants to have their epic match, but it's like not everybody does. I also use a movie analogy because I'm a big fan of the movie The Road Warrior. It's like they saved the epic car chase thing for the end.
Right.
If every car chase in the entire movie was as epic as the one at the end, the movie would have sucked.
Yep.
Yeah, he's right. And some people, I've heard people be like, oh, John Wick and shit. But it's like, dude, there's so much John Wick lore and storytelling, and there's even shows about it and stuff. Like, no, John Wick movie doesn't just start and it's just killing and shit. It starts and there's like a bunch of lore. Then he goes on a rampage, and then you're like, and then come movie 2, 3, 4, you're able to be like, yeah, I don't need to. I know who John Wick is. I know this world. Let him go off, you know? So Lance Storm is fucking base. That was Trying Brian sitting there taking it on the chin. Well, actually, he was encouraging it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was AEW news. And the best guy is Steamboat Tony Khan. Tony Khan, he is the best guy. Steamboat Tony, they need to bring back the House of Mouths.